What's up, y'all? It's Joe the Preacher here, and today I wanted to recap my freshman year, just look back on the growth I made and the growth I made in my relationship with God and the connections I made with people along the way. And let's get into it. So in like August, went in September when I moved in, when I really started getting settled down, I was kind of in this lost phase. Um, I just had a bad summer. I had a really horrible breakup. Um, and I was just, my mental health was just at an all-time low. And I thought going to college, getting the college experience, it would, sort of dab that, put wristband on my mental health. I was going to parties. I don't know. I was doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, and really just not living for God. I was really trying to live for the world to escape from my mental health, which is like a terrible thing to do. But even though I was lost mentally, I was not lost academically. I went off to a great start in college. I had good grades. The teachers liked me. I mean, professors liked me, and I didn't really struggle in that regard. I joined a student club, National Association of Black Accountants. Shout out to y'all. And I mean, we didn't really have our first meeting in October, but that was a really like the first time I really got involved in anything. I was never really involved in high school, and I was kind of like just stayed to myself in high school. But when I got to college, I would say I started reaching out and making those connections. But yeah, like I said, I was still, lost, kind of, trying to drown my mental health struggles in these vices, and it wasn't working. Then in October, early October, while I was starting going to gym, I just had this, I don't know what it was, this eureka moment, this moment of insight, where I just started making a YouTube channel, and it'd be focused around um, the Bible studies, and what God's word is, and that's exactly what I did. I started posting videos on there, and while I was posting videos, I started reading my Bible every day, and I started journaling to God every day, and that's what really, got me back in my transformation. That's really, unlocked my transformation phase with God. And so from October to December, I was going through this, transformation phase. This first phase, you go through when you're lukewarm. I was still doing, stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing as a Christian, but it was part of the learning process. I was praying, I was reading my Bible, and I was journaling, and I found a really good church to go to. Shout out to Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church. Y'all know who you are. I love y'all. And I just, I felt my mental health, it was still not where I wanted to be, but I still felt, better than I was feeling that summer. So academically, I finished that first semester really well. I got good grades. I made the dean's list, but in terms of mental health and spiritually, I was still work in progress. I was still, building towards where I'm at now. So during winter break, that's when I really took a break from making videos on this channel, because I really didn't know what videos I wanted to make anymore. I made like 3-4 videos, and then I decided like I didn't really know. That's when I really took that time to really go and do a Bible study, and I really just decided I'd do a Bible study in the 7 deadly sins, and I do how-to videos, self-improvement. That's really where I got the blueprint for this channel. So with those ideas, in January, I started making YouTube videos again for this channel. I started my first video back with my Bible study on greed, and that was a really good video, I thought, for my first time being back in like a few months. And also, got off the classes really well. I hit it off on the right path with some of the students. I got involved more, and yeah, it was looking great. And then February rolled around. This is when I went through significant family tragedy, and it really, even though it, put a dent into my mental health, it was, I could have felt worse if I didn't find God. If I didn't find God, I mean, if it could have felt way worse. I could have been a wreck. Was like going through that, it hurt a lot. It still hurts to this day, but God has had me there, and He has me before. So, He's guiding me through this pain. He's guiding me through, um, the trials and tribulations I've had, I mean, since that time. And also in February, that's when I became a member of my church. And that's when, my spirit started to really grow and really like become fiery and with passion because I was praying every day. I was reading my Bible, started journaling, and like I really did make a transformation. Like I ceded all my cursing. Like I have not cursed like a sailor in months. There's some words slip out here and there, but I have not cursed like that. Like I have not cursed all day in months. And in general, temptation and sin just has felt so much easier to wave off. I still fall into temptation from time to time, but it's just felt so much easier to shoo those temptations and away because I found a good church where I can really grow my spirit in. And from March to May, that's when I really started to get involved. That's when I really started to, get my face and my name known around the campus. I got involved with a Black Men's Club, shout out to Black Men Coalition, and I started getting involved with NABA. And I started to really get my face known to people. Really started to go out and talk with people because I was always saying to myself this loner type, but I really just wanted to. But when I started getting involved, that's when I really, you know, saw myself as being this talkative person, this somewhat outgoing person. I'm still an introvert, but I know now that I can talk to people and really connect with them. And I also started doing community service work. That's when I discovered my love for community service. I was doing food drives, going to elementary school to play with kids. It was amazing. Like um, it was an amazing experience. I think when you go through this transformation with God, like, and start really becoming a servant of Christ, you start doing things that, you never thought you loved it like you would. Like, I love to work out now. I love running now. I love community service now. I love truly being a leader and connecting with people now. It's like I never really thought I love these things until I had a transformation in Jesus. So I really just give him all the glory for that. And in May, that's when everything ended. Academically, like amazing. I got all A's, made the dean's list again, of course, and just knocked it out the park. I got elected to 2 officer positions. One would be mentoring chair for Black Men Coalition, and the other would be secretary for National Association of Black Accountants. And I got a scholarship to go to Las Vegas for a convention for my organization. So yeah, that was just a quick recap of my freshman year. This summer, I plan to do a lot of things, like going to this convention in Vegas and doing stuff for my birthday, and really just connecting with people. Just making sure that everyone like knows that I'm a God-fearing man who loves to have fun. But yes, I hope you guys enjoy that recap. To anyone who's going into freshman year, I'm gonna give you guys some later tips, and I'm gonna give you guys some tips in a later video. But for right now, just know that just have a relationship with God. Just work on your relationship with God when you get there. Don't wait to get into college. Have a relationship with God. Have a relationship with God as soon as you can, and just ignore all temptation. That college experience can be tempting, but just ignore it and just have fun and get involved. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And until R1, God bless. Peace.